everyone. I'm Kelsey,
I'm JPatt.
and you guys are listening to the Box Officers Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave us a star rating or review wherever you're listening to this episode.
Watching a bad movie is like witnessing a serious crime, but have no fear. The box officers are here. Each episode, Kelsey, Georgette, who's absent at the moment, and I will review a new movie, and at the end of each episode, we'll classify this film according to the severity of punishment.
Correct. So, films can be convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, an infraction, or on the rare occasion, found innocent. Today, we will be reviewing The Fantastic Four First Steps. So, if you have not seen the movie, you're going to have to pause now. Otherwise, we can get into the episode. All right. Have you seen any of the old Fantastic Four movies?
Yeah, I did. I think like Fantastic Four was like my earliest memories of like superheroes
Mm-hmm.
because I remember the first one coming out, and I believe the first one came out, at least the first like new age one came out in like 2005. I remember the day the video game for it came out, me and my brother played it till like, I don't know, like 12 a.m. And to me at the time, 12 a.m. was like twilight
Yeah.
hours, like yeah. And I remember I think I fell asleep with like the video game controller in my hand, just sitting there playing it. So yeah. I've seen the first two. I never saw the one. I never saw the one that included Michael B. Jordan in it. And I don't think I should, at this point. So
I
yeah, but
see.
I have been a fan. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I've loved them. I also am a fan of the one with like Jessica Alba, Chris Evans. That one is
Hmm.
what comes to mind when I think Fantastic Four. But we also recently had John Krasinski. I don't even remember which Marvel movie it was, but like a few years ago. Do you remember that? It was like
I know we had
weird multiverse stuff.
yeah. We had Reed Richards. He was in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He
And
he was in the movie with Wanda. It was Doctor Strange. Yeah. It was that
yeah,
Doctor Strange movie.
and I thought that was really cool. So it's really nice to see the suits back on the screen. And I was really excited. I feel like that's such an underrated group of like superheroes, and I love the family dynamic. I love the vibes. And for this one, I was really excited based on how much I like the old stuff. So, big boots to fill though, it's
No,
kind
yeah,
of one of those
definitely.
things where you gotta step up to the plate. You have to deliver because you're like our future kind of here. You have like
Yeah.
that is preparing for doomsday. So they had to show us what we had to look forward to for the next few years. And
And they're pretty much, I think they're like the first superhero family as well. Kind of like when it comes to the history of like Marvel and DC Comics and everything. So this is quite literally like another legacy like role to fill. I mean, we just talked about Superman, and now we have the Fantastic Four, and we having some like, we've been having some like classics kind of like pop up
yeah,
uh
which I love. It's been a
this
good
summer.
summer for movies, like a great
Yeah,
summer.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone crazy. I personally feel like they did not disappoint when it comes to stepping into their roles. I'd even say that a couple of them did even better than their predecessors. So we'll talk
Like
about
who?
that soon, though.
Good, like
Definitely, definitely Johnny. I definitely like Johnny way more than I have in any of the other Fantastic Four movies. I'll be
sure.
honest. Because not only is he, not only does he have his kind of like, what's the word? You know, he has that swag to him. But in this movie, it also showed how much, for one, he cared about his family, or he wasn't too reckless. And then for two, how smart he was. Like
Hmm.
I like the fact that it showed how smart he was and that he kind of had his own B plot to the film,
Hmm.
figuring out, the Silver Surfer's language and her origins and stuff. So that made me even more intrigued. And he was pretty cool. He was my favorite part of the movie.
I think Chris Evans has Johnny is like very goofy, which is
Yeah.
an important part, but I would say I like this a lot better too because I'm like, I forget that this man is an astronaut. Like, he's very big brain too. Like, he's not just
Hmm.
here to be like hot and funny. And it's funny you said that because there was a tweet that said, all of you owe Joseph a huge apology. He gave us the definitive take on the Human Torch. It's nice to finally see a version of Johnny who's as smart as they are annoying, a master rage baiter, but so genuine and compassionate. I adore him so much, which is like
Yeah.
what we were saying. It's like
Yeah.
so good. It was so good. I feel like someone else that I thought did amazing, Vanessa Kirby. Now, I've been sat in her restaurant for a long time. This girl has done some really good work, and I'm really glad that she's getting a role where maybe there's more exposure so people can see her work. But she's been acting down for years, and I love Jessica Alba. I may have to give this to Vanessa, though. This felt like,
Really?
yeah, well, because
Now, it did feel like she stole a lot of the movie. It did feel like
it
that.
was her
Like she,
movie. Yeah.
yeah, basically. Yeah, and I think that's mainly because of her
Yeah,
son.
she was like the grounding force for a lot of this, and like you said, yeah, in part due to her the plot being around Franklin, right? And that's going to be very relevant for like the next few years. But I
Hmm.
think she as an actress delivered because that was like a heavy weight to hold, and I thought she did great. I loved it.
Yeah. And that's not even sleeping on the other characters too, because I loved Pedro as Mr. Fantastic, like I did. Like I liked how, I don't know, just based off my memories from the previous Fantastic Four movies, his Mr. Fantastic felt a whole lot more, I don't know, just a whole lot more calculated. Like I just liked the way he spoke, how he went about things, how he, like moved as Mr. Fantastic. And then, we have Eben. I liked how he played the thing. I liked all four characters, honestly. I mean,
I feel like they did really good, but
they
some
did.
feedback
Some I wish I
for
got more screen time, but yeah,
yeah, for Mr. Fantastic, the thing is with Pedro Pascal, he's like all over the place right now. And I think that sometimes people can confuse that like overexposure with him not doing a good job. I think that he does do a
yeah,
good job. Am I going to say the best Mr. Fantastic? No, but I think he was great. I think he's
yeah.
equal, but I think I don't know. I would have liked to see more. I think the scenes that he had though were very important. But you would have thought he was
Mm,
like gonna be the grounding force here, and it was Sue. I think it's smart and important that they made it about Sue, but I wouldn't have mind. Like, I think we only saw him. He was barely doing the stretch thing, like barely. I'm like,
yeah.
come
That's
on,
what I
let me
meant by
see
more
some.
screen
Save me
time.
some more. Give me something to work with. But in terms of like
Yeah,
that's like more the character, but for Pedro Pascal, somebody was like, I
yeah.
truly don't get all the Pedro Pascal hate. But after seeing Fantastic Four, I must admit he definitely was the worst part. His Reed Richards was
Wow.
way too serious and depressing. Really enjoyed everyone else though. I'm not gonna say he was the worst part because he was
Yeah,
serious and
that's a bit
depressing. I
strong.
think though, out of the four main like characters, his performance may have been the weakest, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with his
Now,
character being depressed.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do. I mean, he's dealing with literally saving the world. They almost do before it's foiled by the Silver Surfer. So I didn't really mind his performance all that much. Like I think he did a pretty good job. I could see, I mean, right now I feel like the Pedro hate is just kind of like trending.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
it's
They're just
all,
tired of seeing him.
yeah, yeah, they're just tired of seeing him. Like, but don't get mad at him. Get mad at whoever's casting him. He's just making his money. But
Yeah.
I did like his Mr. Fantastic. I feel like she did just as good as Jessica Alba, in that role as Invisible Woman. Or might I say, even a little bit better. She might be, the Invisible Woman from now on, because I feel like Vanessa Kirby has just a type of like good charisma to her.
It's the motherly take on it as well. That's very different. And so if you're going to be talking about
All
it
right, yeah.
in terms of like, we're centering this around Franklin and what power he has and the importance of that for the next like few chapters. of Marvel, you're gonna need Mom, and she's giving Mom more than anybody else. So I think depending on like what
Yeah.
area of life Sue is in, I can see how Jessica really suited a younger Sue, and Vanessa really gives motherly Sue, and I think all of those things can be true at once. But there is a star in this room that hasn't been talked about yet. Julia Garner, she's gonna. Anytime I
Yeah.
see Julia Garner on a project, I'm already sad. You don't even gotta tell me
Yeah.
what's going on. She's also Weapons is coming out next month. She's getting the paycheck. Pedro is getting the paycheck. Everyone's getting paid, but Julia Garner, she ate that. There's nothing to grow on in that like
Yeah.
performance. It was good, and that's all you can really say about it. She ate. She did
No,
good.
yeah.
You can't even see her like
She's been
face for most of it, and you can still feel like so much.
yeah, yeah, she's been one of my favorites ever since I binged that series called Ozark.
Of course,
That
yeah.
might be where she had her debut.
That's where everybody
But
knows
like,
her from is Ozark.
yeah, yeah, but I mean that's just a testimony to how good she did in Ozark. So ever since Ozark, I've been like, okay, that's one of like my favorite female actresses, and she just solidified that for me in this movie. And like the way she played the character, she had some aura with Silver Surfer, and everybody was complaining. They were like, why make her a woman and this and that and whatever. And I'm like, it's literally an actual character in the comics. Like, God forbid they switch it up a little bit and go with Shia Ball instead of, the male Silver Surfer. And she killed it. Like, you can't even complain about her performance just because she's a woman. Like, she did just as well as him. I'd argue she did even better, just based off of my memory. I liked her Silver Surfer a lot more than the original one. And this one, I feel like this Silver Surfer was a bit more fleshed out. Am I wrong?
Oh, there was
If you can
depth there
remember.
for sure. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
definitely had like we got to see her, her origin story, a little bit of it. And I feel like there was a lot of, especially between her and Johnny, those interactions, there's so much depth to like her and her purpose beyond like
yeah.
bad guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like even and I'll say this, my favorite scene in the entire movie was the space chase scene where they're trying to escape Galactus and she's like literally like
She's surfing.
surfing on
It gave
yeah, she
Silver
is surfing
Surfer
on
for
a black
sure.
hole. They're going light speed and she's surfing through the warp and like you could feel like the stress. Like in that moment, I was like on the edge of my seat, like I could feel like the stress because she's literally coming for the baby. Like and it looked like I think there was a point where they were still on Galactus's ship and she hit some of them with her board. And after she hit them with the board, I was like, ow, like I could almost feel it because I'm like, dang, that board must hurt. Like
For me, it's when she reached in. Do you remember that? Like she
oh
reached
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
belly.
yeah. She like reached in.
I said she
Yeah,
could rip this baby out. Like that's
yeah.
crazy.
I did. I did
It was a lot.
cringe. I cringed at that.
It was
Yeah,
good.
but I feel like her Silver Surfer was a whole lot more menacing than the other Silver Surfer, and I think that space chase scene is what like really made me feel that way.
I feel like she was
But
saying something. She was
yeah,
like, "Die with those that you love" or something. It was some weird stuff going on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like die with yours. Yeah.
yeah, it was very like dark and deep, and there was like layers there, and some
Hmm.
internal conflict that she had that we got to see, and I thought that was really cool. And also, speaking of Galactus, Ralph Ineson, I'm sorry, but they're gonna say I'm wrong, but I couldn't take Galactus seriously. It's just because he's so big and he's not moving fast enough for me, and it's like I don't know. I'm sorry. I
I
just
took
can't take him seriously. He's got this helmet thing on. You look silly sitting there like this in space, just like I don't know.
now if you knew Marvel a bit more, or I guess when it comes to the comics and stuff, then you'd feel a bit more kind of like, oh, like this is the presence of Galactus. I feel like I took him pretty seriously because one, this is his first appearance in Marvel films. So he's kind of like one of the big baddies in Marvel to me.
Hmm.
And two, I took him seriously up till Act 3. Now, when they were on his
Yeah.
ship when they were on his ship and then you just see like his full scale, how huge the ship is for one, and then you see him sitting on his throne I was like, man, like he's huge. And I really wish they kept that scale up because
I
in
was gonna
Act
say, I
3,
thought he'd be bigger.
that's I
In
was
act,
yeah,
because
I
in
literally said
Act
that so many
Three, when you
times.
look at the side,
Yeah,
even like okay, comparing him to the Statue of Liberty, he's clearly huge, but low key, like I thought
yeah,
he'd be bigger. Or like, why is I know Sue? Yes, she is capable, but
yeah.
low key, like I feel like why is he getting why that end so fast? Why was that fight so fast? I just feel like he could have done his bigger one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I guess this is skipping ahead a bit, but a tweet was Act 1 was great, Act 2 was absolute cinema, Act 3 was good. And that's exactly how I felt leaving the
Yep.
theater. I even took notes because I was like, when Galactus comes down and he lands in New York and you see him look at the Statue of Liberty, that compares the scale. And I was just kind of like, no, you're supposed to be like 3 times the size you are right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like you're
saying. Like,
supposed to be. I was expecting Galactus to kind of like tower over the city. And then even when it comes to the whole situation with Sue Storm, like I could see her being able to defeat Galactus at the size he was at the expense of her life. Like
yes,
she could only the only way she beat him in this movie was because she gave up all of her life force to push
yeah.
him into that portal. But if he was 3 times bigger, like his actual size in the comics or so, like she would not have been able to do that. Maybe he was that size for the sake of the plot. But
Yeah.
when they showed him on the ship earlier, I'm like almost 100% sure that he was like 3 times that
I
size.
was thinking, I was
It
like,
felt
you
like he
should be able to
shrunk a bit.
stomp on all of them at one time. Like, why is
Yeah,
this? I don't
yeah,
even know why this felt like a doable thing for them. But I thought that scene was
yeah.
so funny where, like, he realizes where Franklin's at and the little robots try to defend him. It's so funny. I thought, what's the freaking robot's name? It was hilarious.
It's Herbie. Yeah, that's his
Okay,
name. Herbie the robot.
I was gonna call him
Yeah.
Kirby. I think he was so
No,
cute,
no.
so funny, and also I don't know whose baby this was, but Franklin is such a cute baby. People in my theater were going, "Oh," like he was that kind of cute, where
Yeah,
you like make noise. It was so
yeah.
freaking beautiful. Like I don't know,
I love
such
the
a cute
little, I love the
baby.
little clap. I love the little clap
Yeah,
the baby made after he saved his mom.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
great. Honestly, I loved it. And I wanted to
Mm.
say, like, something that I really liked about the movie was, like, the emotional component. That scene where Sue was like, I will not sacrifice my son for this world, but I will not sacrifice this world for my son. That was, like,
Hmm.
for me, top three scenes in the movie. Like, that was a good monologue, a good writing,
That was.
good direction, good acting. That was a perfect monologue. And I had tears in my eyes because I said, this is family. Like,
Yeah.
this was just like so wholesome, but so powerful. I like when people don't bend. It's very, you
Hmm.
know, that energy that Captain America has when he speaks. It's just like that good, grounded, like, I'm here for you
Yeah.
genuinely. Like, I'm a leader
Yeah.
type speech.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I love that quote, but that part to me is a part of Act 3 where I said that it was good. And I love her speech, but for some reason it just kind of like I loved it, but for some reason it kind of lost me a little bit. I think that's where we'll differ because okay, you have this crowd, this mob or whatever. She comes out with the baby and she comes out to speak. And I'm expecting, okay, she's about to give a speech, and that's just completely fine with me. But I wish the speech was a bit more, because okay, you compare this to Captain America. Captain America, I feel like he would have given like a rally cry almost, kind of like a nice long extended speech, no spaces, no nothing, just like this is who we are, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna fight. But I feel like in her speech, there were like spaces and then, scenes of her, she keeps looking at the baby. And I mean, like, that's all cute and stuff, but like, it didn't feel fluid to me. It felt a little chopped up. And
Um,
I think I saw some other people, they felt the same way. And I don't hate that part at all. But I was just like, I wanted to feel more of a, like, hurrah type feeling because she's saying that she's not going to sacrifice her child, but she won't give up the world for him either. So we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight Galactus as a family. We're gonna work together. And
Like
I
she did a
just,
really good job of like both, because like I feel
yeah,
like at the end there was that call to action, like we're gonna solve this together, and that's why all the other countries were like, okay, let's figure this out, like technology wise. But
yeah,
I feel like the pauses, like the emotion is why it was a good speech. But I could see like people doing both, but for me to not notice
yeah,
any like pauses or anything, I think that's why it was good, because I'm so caught up in like the emotion of what she's saying. Like I
yeah,
feel like I would have been one of those people, like at that point it's like, yes, she's like Sue Storm, but this is humanity, bro. And she's like, this is my kid and I'm
yeah.
standing beside him, but I'm gonna help you too. And I thought it was really effective. But I thought there were other emotional parts in the movie too. Like I feel like with Eben and playing the Thing, he did such a really good
Hmm.
job of showing like the layers there.
Yeah, you
And I
did.
feel like we got an appropriate amount of time for it. It wasn't distracting, it wasn't ignored either. Because you do have to have this
Yeah,
like identity crisis if you are the Thing, you know, you're like, hey, where's my
yeah,
face? And you're never getting it back. And so someone said, I'm convinced Eben was born to play the Thing. He's warm, friendly, and so lovable, but you can tell there's a sense of longing under that rocky exterior. I need him to get an even bigger role next time because he's great. Flawless CGI too. He looked incredible. I'd agree with all of that. Like all of it.
yeah,
I think that that scene where he walks by and he sees himself on the TV and then the TV turns off and he sees his
yeah. It
reflection.
turns
I'm
off and
just
he sees
like,
his face.
yeah, but he's also so happy and hopeful throughout the whole film because of like what he's found in this like family. And I think it's just like a
Yeah,
lot of layers to all of these people, or even the argument
yeah.
between
That was,
Sue and Reed,
yeah,
that
yeah. That
was
was a
like
good
very
scene.
real. And I felt like that was
Yeah,
such a good depiction of like a very regular marriage argument, but them being accurately represented as characters as well.
yeah. It was real, and I liked that part of the movie because I don't know. I just, yeah, it just felt real to me. So that was a good emotional part. In my opinion, I'd say another emotional part I didn't like all too much. I guess it just threw me out of the what's the word, like the realism of the movie, or just how real it felt to me, just being put into the action like I was in Act Two. And I think I just got so high in Act Two that when Act Three came around, I was expecting that high to, just kind of like keep flowing. But it was the part with the Human Torch and Shala Ball. It was the part where she came down, she destroys all the arches and stuff like that. That was just a display of her power. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it was the part where he tracks her down and then starts playing those voices and everything. And I did like that part. We're finally getting towards what's the mystery of the Silver Surfer. Because I never even know too much about the Silver Surfer,
Yeah.
even though we watched the other movies. But, he tries talking to her and just kind of like trauma dumps on her, her trauma, and then she flies away, all emotional, crying and stuff, and he catches up with her and they have that little sentimental conversation. And I think just with the seriousness of the situation that they're going through, Galactus is about to show up. It kind of threw me out of it. I'm like, maybe I'm just not too in tune with emotional stuff, but it
You were
just,
like, where's the fighting?
yeah, like I guess, but I feel like it could have been done, but it just could have been done in a better way at a better time, and not him just being like, "This happened to you, this happened to you, this happened to you," and then she's like, and
Okay,
then
I will say the
runs
freak out
away. That's
part
like a whole
lost me.
trope. Yeah, yeah, it's a whole like you're literally the Silver Surfer. Like I get you being traumatized by stuff, but don't like freak out part and then flying away towards the moonlight, and I'm like, it's a it just felt like I'd seen that in so many movies before.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked it until the like little spazzing moment. I was like, that seemed odd,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, I'll agree with that one. So, like overall, what would you say though?
So overall, for this movie, we've already said so much, but overall for this movie, I feel like it was like a good 9 out of 10 for me. And if I were to give it a verdict, then I
You
definitely
would.
just throw down, I throw down an innocent for it because it was definitely like
Oh,
it was a good Marvel movie. It's innocent. You get to go
okay.
free. Yep. A lot
Okay.
of people were saying that, a lot of people were trying to build up a little guilty case against it. And then I looked at everything, saw the movie. I'm like, no, nah, this is innocent. So I let it go.
Interesting.
I loved
Okay.
it. Yeah. What about you?
Okay. Okay. Well, I loved it as well. And you know what? Even though we had like very small critiques, like the one we were just talking about, the little meltdown,
Yeah.
or some of the things with the scaling of Galactus.
Yeah.
Honestly, even with, okay, my biggest qualm was also with Act 3 because Act 2 was so good. You know, it should get out, Act 1 shouldn't be better than the rest, you know, it should grow into something kind of like climax. I just figured
Yeah.
that that last battle might have been a little bit more than what we got. Um,
Yeah.
but overall, that was a great movie. Is there some way I can give it like a speeding ticket? Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to say innocent also, but if there were something between innocent and infraction, I would give it that simply because I feel like that last
hmm
act is really, really, really important. But overall, the movie
Yeah.
was like great. And I really don't
Yeah.
have any critiques. It's very rare that I'm like, I love the acting, I love the directing, I love the casting, I love the cinematography. Like everything was tens across the board. It's just like, I
Yeah.
wonder what we could have done to, you know, when you have a Marvel movie, the scale of like the last fights are like we've seen some crazy stuff. So you got to
Yeah.
get to that caliber.
I love how they were introduced, and then I loved their dynamic and how things went in the whole space part. Because not only are they fighting against Silver Surfer and trying to escape her, but they're also piloting a rocket ship. So you can kind of see how smart Johnny and the Thing are, and then how Reed handled the whole pregnancy situation. And then you even got to see Sue's motherly side come out. She was like, Johnny, kill that. She was like, kill her. She's trying to take your nephew. And I feel like in a Marvel movie, that's the first time, at least for me, in a while, where we've seen like a hero type of character outright be like, no, kill this person. Like, get rid of them. Yeah, it was just like in that moment, she's about to give birth and she's in that like motherly defense mode. And I think with everything that was going on, like even the theater gasped when she said that. And they were like, oh my gosh. But I think that was everybody's favorite part. And to me, that's probably like one of my favorite like Marvel acts or scenes in some years. In some
Hmm.
years ever since Endgame. That's probably one of my favorites because I remember sweating a little bit. I remember sweating a little bit, and I remember
Yeah.
them going through the black hole and all this and that. So to me, that just saves the movie completely for me, honestly.
I feel like
Act
there
three
was
definitely
a
could have been better.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a lot of good to it, to the point where like that one like moment, I mean, and obviously like they're gonna win, so it's like at some point like they have
yeah,
to kind of overcome. I would have loved to see like more of them bouncing off of each other maybe, but again, this is just like our
hmm
intro to them, and there's so much time to watch these things flesh out, and the way they handled the dynamics between the characters and like some of the things earlier on in terms of like just story building, it was just really great. And we have not had great in Marvel in a while. So I just feel like I have to give you an innocent, but if I could give you like a little warning, like, hey, just so you know, like next time, watch out. That's what I would do. No more speeding in this
right,
school zone type vibes, but overall it's
yeah,
innocent. And I think that's the perfect way to like kind of wrap up the summer of movies, like a
yeah,
nice perfect superhero movie. I feel like this is a great
yeah,
way to end the season 4 of the box officers. It's JPatt's first season. You gave us a good 18 episodes. That's a big season, our biggest season yet.
thank you,
And
thank you.
I mean, we're going out like on top. Should I say fantastic? Get it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic Four wraps up season 4
Yep,
of the Box Officers podcast.
season
Yeah.
4, and it was a pleasure to be a part of this season. I'm no longer a
Oh
rookie
yeah.
cop.
You've been well,
Do
that's
I
our
get
summer of movies.
on
Do
a
you get a
check for the
what?
past couple months? So, or
Yeah,
my
it's in the mail. Did you
I
check
was
the
in the
mail?
mail.
It's in the mail.
I check it every
Yeah.
day.
We paid. It's something greater than money.
The money was the friendship we made along the way.
Yeah, exactly. The movies we watched along the way. This has been awesome, and we will see you guys back very soon. Do not get us wrong. We are not disappearing forever and ever again. Like,
Yep,
we will be
we'll
back
be back.
extremely soon, and we're still going to be active on social media the whole time. So be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, because we will still be wanting to interact with you guys until season 5.
Peace.